Could the Warriors be waiting until summer for a blockbuster trade that changes everything? After a rocky stretch in the standings, the front office is weighing their options, and fans are left with bated breath. Imagine a new addition that could complement our core and reignite our championship dreams. Don't miss out on the inside scoop as we break down the potential impacts of this pivotal decision. Subscribe and like this video to stay connected with the latest Warriors news. The latest scoop surrounding the Golden State Warriors is generating a buzz among fans, and it's not just because of the recent struggles on the court. Reports indicate that while the Warriors might dabble in the trade market before the deadline, the big moves are likely on hold until the summer. This has led to a mix of anxiety and hope for all of us who bleed blue and gold as the front office contemplates how to reshape this team for a better future. Two executives in the Western Conference believe that the Warriors are looking to preserve their most valuable assets for a significant summer trade. So, what does that mean for this season? Well, it suggests we could see some minor adjustments, but nothing earth-shattering, at least not yet. The name that keeps popping up in trade discussions is Bulls center Nikola Vucevic. He could be a game-changer, providing that reliable second scoring option alongside Stephen Curry. The Warriors are hoping to snag him in a deal involving expiring contracts, making it a more feasible move. But let's be real. If we're talking about real impact players, the conversation inevitably circles back to Andrew Wiggins' hefty contract, along with the promising young talents of Jonathan Kuminga, Moses Moody, and Brandon Podziemski. Fans, do you think trading Wiggins is a path worth exploring? Honestly, I'm torn. Wiggins has shown flashes of brilliance, but consistency has been a concern. Maybe it's time to cash in on that potential while it's still high? Then you have the expiring contracts of Gary Payton II and Kevon Looney, which seem more likely to be moved sooner rather than later. It's a strategic play aimed at managing the tax bill, especially considering the team's current standing. Let's face it, after a hot start at 12-3, seeing the team tumble down the standings is frustrating for all of us. Curry and the leadership team have been vocal in their desire for improvement, expressing that they want to remain realistic contenders in the playoffs. In his own words, Curry has emphasized a willingness to trust the front office. But it's clear that the pressure is mounting. If there's no action at the deadline, fans need to feel reassured that it's not due to a lack of effort to improve the roster. Looking back, the Warriors tried to make some big splashes last summer, eyeing players like Lauri Markkanen and Paul George. Ultimately, they hesitated to part with key assets like Kuminga, which has led to this precarious position. It's a balancing act. Do you prioritize the future or the present? The Warriors have historically been conservative around the trade deadline. In the Curry era, we've only seen significant trades happen a couple of times. This season, they even made a move for Dennis Schroeder, but that's turned out to be less impactful than hoped. His struggles have left us questioning whether he can be part of the solution or if he'll be a trade chip come deadline day. As a fan, I can't help but feel a mix of hope and apprehension. We've seen this team navigate tough waters before, and Curry, Draymond Green, and Steve Kerr have all spoken about avoiding panic moves. They're clearly willing to bide their time until summer for a potential roster overhaul if needed. But can we afford to wait that long? Curry's faith in his team is inspiring. He believes they can beat anyone in a playoff series because of their experience. And you know what? That confidence resonates. We've been there. We've done it. The question is, can this current roster find its footing in time to make a serious playoff run? The Golden State Warriors are once again in the spotlight as they look to make a significant trade before the February 6th deadline, and all eyes are on Nikola Vucevic. This is a player who's been lighting it up for the Chicago Bulls, averaging over 20 points, 10 rebounds, and 3 assists this season. Just the other night, he dropped a jaw-dropping 40 points on the Charlotte Hornets, shooting an impressive 68% from the field. It's hard to ignore a talent like that, especially when you consider how he could fit into the Warriors' system. Bill Simmons, a well-respected voice in the basketball community, has thrown his full support behind a trade for Vucevic, and honestly, I can see why. He pointed out something crucial that many fans might overlook. Stephen Curry has never played alongside a stretch five who can really stretch the floor. Think about it. Every great player has had that kind of big man who can pull defenders out of the paint, allowing everyone else to operate more freely. Curry has had his fair share of bigs, but none who can consistently hit from beyond the arc like Vucevic. Simmons emphasized this on his podcast, suggesting that Vucevic offers something unique that could elevate Curry's game and the entire Warriors' offense. It's a bold statement, but it's grounded in reality. In all his years of brilliance, Curry has lacked that true stretch five, and the implications of bringing Vucevic into the fold could be monumental. Imagine how much more space Curry would have to operate, how many more open looks he could create. And let's not forget about Andrew Wiggins and Jonathan Kuminga, who would surely benefit from Vucevic's ability to pull opposing bigs away from the basket. Now, I know some fans might be thinking, isn't Vucevic just another solid player? Look, he may not be the superstar name that some of us were hoping for, but his skill set is exactly what the Warriors need. His outside shooting could open up so many avenues for the likes of Dennis Schroeder as well, especially if he sticks around after the trade deadline. The pick-and-roll and pick-and-pop opportunities would skyrocket with a player like Vucevic in the mix. But here's where it gets tricky. Do the Warriors pull the trigger on this trade? Honestly, I'm torn. On one hand, Vucevic could solve a lot of problems for this team offensively. On the other hand, it's a big gamble. The Warriors have built their reputation on developing talent and making smart trades that pay off in the long run. Will Vucevic fit into that long-term vision? It's a question that needs to be asked. The potential to lift this offense, especially with the struggles we've seen recently, is enticing. The Warriors are at a crossroads, and this trade could be a defining moment for their season and future. It's not just about making a splash. It's about creating chemistry and ensuring that Curry has the support he needs to thrive. And let's be real, as fans, we always dream big. We want to see our team hoist that championship trophy again. A trade for Vucevic could be a step toward the goal, but we must weigh the consequences carefully. What if the chemistry doesn't mesh? What if he doesn't deliver as expected? I want to hear your thoughts on this. Do you think this was the best decision for the Warriors? What are your expectations if Vucevic comes to Golden State? And you, what do you think? I want to hear your opinions down below. This is a pivotal moment in the Warriors' season, and every move counts. So, if you're passionate about the Warriors and want to keep up with all the latest developments, don't forget to activate the notification bell to get all the latest updates. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and let's keep this conversation going. We're all in this together as we cheer for our Golden State Warriors.